Hello, guys. Welcome to the Sports Doyen. We are here to preview the India versus England, the first T20I. We've seen plenty of talking points during the Test series. We've had plenty of very heated discussions on the panel regarding various topics, but I'm sure there'll be lesser talking points considering the game is going to be just 3.5 hours. Hopefully, 3.5 hours, not less than that. I mean, if both these teams find a way to finish any of the games in 2 hours, I think we should be terribly disappointed because that's a trend that they've set in the Test matches. Hopefully, that doesn't continue. And we have Nathan, Prathamesh, Atul, and Siddharth Gulati from Cricket Spectacle. I'm sorry, and Atul from V Express Sports. Nathan representing himself, and Kushagra I think has just joined. He'll be here in a couple of seconds. But gentlemen, I mean, this is one of the most highly anticipated T20I series in a long time, isn't it? Like because both these
Absolutely.
teams are coming into this particular series in great, I wouldn't say great form, but there is just the on paper strength of both these teams. It's just spectacular, isn't it? There is Kushagra. Hello, Kushagra. Uh, just taking on Masum's comments here, he says, Owen Morgan on the T20 World Cup favorites. I would say India. The World Cup is in India, and they will be a side to defeat on their home soil. I mean, this is what people said last time, and you know what happened. Landell Simmons. England. Owen Morgan refuses
Yeah,
to comment on England's opening combination. No comments. I'm not going to give you a heads up on this. Something Virat Kohli
yeah.
should learn during his test selections. Uh, Owen Morgan says, "Who's paying Jofra to write articles?" Yeah, yeah, that has happened. Yeah. Okay, we'll talk about that. Firstly, we'll come to Siddharth about this.
Yes,
Siddharth,
yes,
you know, the combination changes slightly for India. The combination changes quite significantly for England.
yes.
But one has to admit, England, in a sense, slightly are the favorites, aren't they?
See, I would actually, on one of the earlier shows at the Sports Joint only, I said that, for me, India are the favorites, primarily because of the fact
No
that I
problem.
think
Yeah.
India have more India have more match winners than England.
Yeah.
No disrespect to the English side, but I'll just reiterate my point that with the kind of firepower power that India have in their middle order now, with Surya Kumar Yadav coming in, Rishabh Pant, back in the fray, and then you have Shreyas Iyer also who can also hit those big sixes. Hardik Pandya, he also came back after a long injury layoff last year in the IPL and then on the tour of Australia. I think India seem to have all the bases covered. Yes, the same point can be said about England, but I think it's about the home conditions also, and at the very same time, with the India's, I think overall unit looking a lot more, let's say, aggressive and more attacking as compared to England. I would definitely rate India as the favorites. And yes, I am really happy with the opening combination that India are going to go for, if not maybe throughout the 5 games, but at least for a couple of games with Rohit and KL Rahul. Yes, I think Shikhar Dhawan was more of an accumulator,
Yeah.
and he actually comes into the side if, let's say, either of Rohit or KLR get injured, then Virat at three. At number four, I think just to start off with the series, I would have Shreyas Iyer only. But if he fails, then I think we might see Surya Kumar Yadav making his debut. Although I would personally prefer him at number five. I really want that India should have him as their number five for a long term, from a long term perspective. Then at number five, you have Rishabh Pant. I'm just going by the predicted 11 that would actually that would actually feature tomorrow. And then you have Hardik Pandya, who would actually be expected to bowl a couple of overs, because if he does, then he actually lends a lot of balance to this side, because then you definitely have five bowlers in probably Washington Sundar, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Deepak Chahar, either of Shardul Thakur or Navdeep Saini, and Yuzvendra Chahal. And with Hardik possibly chipping in with a couple of overs, lends a lot of balance and a lot of stability to this side. So yeah, I think yes, and I think on the other hand, with England, most likely, even if Owen Morgan didn't give an update on who is going to open, I am pretty much, let's say, I pretty much feel that Jason Roy and Josh Butler would be their opening combination, and then you have David Malan and Johnny Bairstow, Morgan, Stokes, and all of these coming in. And I think in the bowling department, it's possibly going to be a toss up between Mark Wood or Jofra Archer. Probably, I think just to manage Jofra Archer's workload, Mark Wood could start the series. But yeah, I think overall, if I see both the teams, it's going to be highly competitive, definitely. But I still expect India to go the distance.
I mean, yeah, that's fair enough. I was actually trying to, sort of downplay what Owen Morgan said, and I guess you guys must have seen that Spider-Man wala meme where both of them are pointing at each other, both the identical ones. It's like that. So I mean, this one puts that a little more into perspective. Virat Kohli and T20 World Cup favorites. England are the favorites. Nice. I mean, both of them can play this game for a hour. But I'll just hand it over to Kushagra now. I mean, it's better that the guy takes over. I am least prepared about asking questions for today. So Kushagra.
No, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for starting off. Welcome, Sid, Nathan, Atul, of course, Pratnesh and Anurag. Welcome to one and all on the eve of the T20 series. Uh,
Thanks, man.
in my opinion, the best two white ball teams in the world across both the formats are going head to head in India, and therefore at the risk of jinxing them, I would genuinely keeping India as favorites. India should be favorites whenever they play at home. It's not England who are the favorites. England are not the favorites for the World Cup.
Okay.
Virat is just being,
Nice. He's being the nice guy.
he's deflecting. He's deflecting because he has not been able to win an ICC tournament yet as a captain.
Yeah.
I would think he's deflecting. He's trying to ensure that the pressure isn't there on his boys. But to be very
Which won't
honest,
be the case.
India
The pressure.
playing in India, there is no one else who can be the favorites. It has to be India, and if that's not the case, then we are seriously asking some questions of this Indian setup. Coming back to it, a little disappointed that Surya Kumar Yadav isn't playing tomorrow. I would have really liked to see him. I know, I absolutely get the Shreyas Iyer argument that Sid made.
Yes.
He's spot on there. You need to have consistency. We have paid because of the lack of consistency in the last time. The man we were consistent with didn't take him to the World Cup, and we all know what happened after that. But
Yes.
you need to be consistent in the selections. But I guess Shreyas Iyer is also on a little bit of an I guess spicy wicket or on thin ice, because if he has maybe a failure or two, Surya Kumar Yadav will definitely take his spot, and it's just about taking that spot. The moment he gets that spot, you can just see the way he's been scoring, whether it is Syed Mustaq Ali, whether it's the IPL, the confidence and the swagger with which he walks into bat. It'll be very difficult for Shreyas Iyer to get that spot back if Shreyas Iyer manages to lose it. So let's hope for the Delhi Capitals captain that he's in good form. And
Is it confirmed, Kushagra, that Shreyas Iyer is playing tomorrow or something?
No. It's not confirmed.
confirmed. It's not confirmed. I'm just going by what the rumors are. Rumors are that
Yes.
they'll
But
stick
you
with
can read the signs. It's a bit like that.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
I think if you hear Virat in his press conference, he's quite big on consistency, quite big on rewarding performances in the past. And let's not forget, Shreyas Iyer for India colors only had a couple of bad matches in Australia, has not
Yes.
had bad matches per se. I agree for DC in the second half of the IPL last season he wasn't great, but we need to be fair with Shreyas Iyer in that sense there as well. So
Yeah.
I think
thank you
there's
so much.
just one more point that I would like to make on Shreyas Iyer, that Australia actually identified one of his weaknesses, and that was the short ball. So it would be interesting to see, if England can actually use it to their advantage against him.
Yeah, I guess I
Fair
totally
enough.
agree. I think also it'll make a big difference. The type of pitches we are playing on, because in
Yeah.
Australia you could really bounce him out. Can you really bounce him out in India? I highly doubt it. I
Yes.
highly doubt it,
I
because
think someone with extra pace could actually do it. Maybe someone
maybe a
like Martin or
Jofra, maybe
Jofra
a
Archer.
Jofra,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. But I don't know how many overs does Shreyas even play from Jofra, because he's going to come in at 4,
Yeah.
and so
That
you would
depends.
expect that he's not going to play the opening spell. At best, he'll play Jofra in the death. How many bounces will you see at the death? So I mean, it's a T20. I think
Yeah.
Shreyas Iyer gets his spot. It's up to him to fail. It's essentially two Mumbai batsmen going head to head. Let's see who comes out on top, isn't it? Let's just leave it to
Yeah.
that. I guess that leaves Pratnesh the happiest. So We'll come back to the comments. Congratulations to Mumbai and Uttar Pradesh, if I'm not wrong, on
Yes.
making the
Yeah.
finals of the Vijay Hazare Trophy. Massive
Yeah.
congratulations. As I said, Atul. Atul.
Kushagra, this is the derby of the place where I belong from to the place where I'm currently living. So this is a very
Yeah.
difficult call for me.
Nah, it's not difficult at all. I mean,
Pratmesh, it is a
reverse for
Darby,
Atul.
reverse for Atul.
We just played
Oh
that Uno
yes.
reverse card
And
there.
Pratmesh,
See,
I can genuinely vouch and say Atul, although he has lived in Mumbai, I'm definitely sure he'll not be rooting for Mumbai. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't think I can expect the same from you, but I'm sure Atul
Yeah.
is not rooting for Mumbai.
I am
it's all
rooting
right.
for Mumbai.
Fair
There's no
enough.
doubt
I
about
mean,
it.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for a 300 chase. Whoever wins it, that'll be fun.
Oh
You will
yes.
you will see the guys be more expressive and play freely. They won't think about losing their wickets, which was the case before, to be honest. All right.
Yeah.
There has been a standard or set for fitness. To maintain that, you would expect players to abide by it and what it takes to play for India. We love Nathan, but India will win. Nathan, your fan club
This
surely.
confirms that a Nathan Barkley fan club is from an Indian.
Yeah, of course. Nathan's popularity is crossing divides, crossing boundaries, man. Come on. Come on.
Yeah.
Same,
Yep.
same can
Big,
be same can be said about Anurag also, I guess. He also has a
of
Oh
fan club.
course.
yes, 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 yes.
Anurag,
Anurag has a fan club.
Anurag
How
and
could we
Nathan.
forget?
Okay. See, Sid, it basically goes
Yes.
Rohan, Atul, Nathan, Anurag. These are the four people, not in that any order in particular. The four most loved people on our lives. The four most
I'm
supported
going well.
panelists
Why?
that we have. No
I,
idea. I mean, just
I
go
can
with the flow,
definitely say
man.
KD.
Just go with the
KD,
flow.
I can definitely say Nathan is the best Britisher we've had on the show, and we've had quite a few.
We've had. I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest, Nathan. You are up against some heavyweights in their field. So for him to say that, that's a huge compliment. I would put. Of
Yeah.
course, big
But
possibility
do I
of
mean
new
it?
players coming. Do you mean it? Do we want to go there? We don't, right? If you look
Yes.
at the squad, we have
Yeah.
tried to make additions to the team. All right. Prashant Solanki be like today, and the century streak is over. All right, Kuljot, and can do okay. Additions to the team and can do what is the need of the hour in T20 cricket. We have tried to cover bases. Okay. 26 runs for Rohit for 9,000 runs. Second after Kohli, of course. 72 to become the first one to complete 3,000 international runs. Hi says Nathan. Hi says Pavan. Thank you so much, Pavan, for joining once again. We want a Nathan dance. Nathan dance. Come on, man. Like, I mean, that's a bit much. It's a bit
Yeah.
much, but sure. Nathan, is that a Leicester top? Is that a Leicester top
Lancashire.
that I see? Lancashire top. All right. Well, that's like, how could he be wearing a Leicester top? That doesn't make sense. On time this time, Neha. Thank you so much, Neha. Thank you so much for joining. And yeah, you are on time, right on time there. Lovely. Masoom says a left-handed batsman scoring their country's first Test double century. Martin Donnelly for NZ in NZ in 1949, and Hashmatullah Shahidi for Afghanistan in 2021. Wonderful performance for Shahidi. A double hundred to go along with 160 odd for Asghar Afghan. Fantastic, I think 564 for five, if I'm not wrong, for Afghanistan. Great batting performance. Finally,
545
they've
for four. Yeah.
545. Sorry,
545 for four.
545 for five, and or for four. Pardon my. I think that there could be a wicket issue there. I might be incorrect there, but fantastic performance by Afghanistan. The coach
Zimbabwe
must be
scored.
happy.
Yeah, Zimbabwe scored 266 on aggregate in the first Test match, and they've doubled it.
Yeah. Yeah. We at Nathan FC support any opposite team that Nathan supports. What the hell? Why? How are you
That's quite
Nathan
weird.
FC then? How are
Yeah.
you Nathan FC? Yeah. भाइयों कल भी नॉन ऑफिशियल प्रीव्यू था इंडिया वर्सेस इंग्लैंड का आज ऑफिशियल प्रीव्यू यार देखो the thing is Shashank, the thing is that yes, so yesterday was a little bit of an unofficial preview, but then how much time we spent on that run out controversy that we had. I want Mr. Gulati's comments on it because he's the only one, and I think probably even Atul, if he's seen that. Those two are the only two people who've not had the chance to actually mention. Oh yeah, Anurag, you didn't mention it in the comments yesterday. All right. Before just the last two comments, and
It's
then
fine.
before we start on the Pratmesh did
Yeah.
join back, so we're fine. WTC final with the Duke's ball. Oh, that's a good question, Kuljot. I
Oh
think
yes.
it'll be a kookaburra because I think ICC official ball is
ICC
a
event. Yeah.
kookaburra.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kookaburra. It'll be a kookaburra. which sucks. Honestly, it should be in SD. With all 5 T20s in Ahmedabad, the conditions will have a big bearing on the series. Spin has been used a lot in the 7 low-scoring games so far, but the dew is heavy and can cause issues in the second innings. Yes, the dew will be a massive factor now. We'll see that come into play. Indian South Africa women's team is going to play one-off test as well. Should we celebrate that, or should we be pissed that Indian women's team don't play test series against England and Australia? They play England women's in tests. They don't really. I mean, Masum, you're right. Kuljot Singh depends what suits India. Ooh, nice, Nathan. Bob's right there. Amit Shah has also announced the upcoming match against them. Okay, Amit again says, by the way, both big shots in the same frame and Atul is not eating. Are we even watching teams? All right. Sid, Atul, and Anurag in that order. Guys, your opinion on that wonderful run out, because Nathan had some views yesterday. Wasn't particularly happy with what happened. Let's just put it mildly. What about you, Sid? What did you think?
I think
How was that?
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't watch the full match, but when I did watch this moment live, and I think as Pollard also mentioned it that when he saw the video, he also felt that Danusha Gunathilaka didn't do it deliberately. So yeah, I think it's just over because I think it's just a probably a mistake on the, and I'll put mistake in inverted quotes on West Indies' side, but that's fine. I think these things do happen. So yeah, let's not possibly make a mountain of a mole here, and it's just happened.
Yeah.
So I think it's possibly just a mistake from the West Indies side, but else it's fine. And I think what I really liked was that Kieran Pollard actually having a chat with the Sri Lankan opener after the game. That really shows that that also, of course, talks a lot about the spirit of the cricket thing. But I think yeah, it's just happened. So no more comments from my side.
I mean, Kieran Pollard also has to play the Sri Lankan Premier League, so yeah.
Definitely.
Why does he have to? But yeah,
That's not the thing.
He does play it. He does play it every year. Up to you.
No, but that's not the point.
I'm
That's
just
not the
kidding.
point.
All in good jest. Nothing.
All
I
in-
don't
yeah.
mean it, of course.
Yes,
It's
yeah,
all
all
obviously.
in all, in good, just yeah.
good fun. Atul, opinions on that obstruction of the field?
Kushagra asked for our opinion and then adds the spices to it. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll give him the blank stuff and then he adds the spice to it.
Precisely.
But when I watched the clip yesterday itself, and the first reaction was basically, where does the batsman go from there?
Yeah.
He didn't have that opportunity, and he was just like, no, yeah, yeah, and he was like that, and Pollard is like, what? No, he wasn't supposed to do that. And after that, he appealed, and it was a bit of a shocker. And yet then, there was a picture where they showed both of them meeting post match. See, once
Yeah.
it has happened, you can't get him back. See, Dhoni
Yeah,
was
right.
courteous enough. Dhoni was courteous
Yeah.
enough to get Ian Bell back. They could have
The
done that.
horses have bolted, isn't it, Atul? The horses
Yeah.
have bolted.
See, whatever the case is, it was just ugly at that very point because
It was-
no
yeah,
one knew
it
what
wasn't
was happening. But again, it has
Right.
happened. And see, if the Sri Lankan people are all right with it, not the people, maybe the team and the management. I think
Yeah.
what can they do? So I think let's just go past that. Okay, it was a blunder. Let it be, and let's just hope it doesn't happen again in any of the matches. So yeah.
No,
Yep.
yeah. That's.
Makes
I think what Rohit Sharma also said yesterday. Anurag, just so that you could also answer this. Rohit Sharma mentioned yesterday in his press conference, if the players and the team managements can go out and quarantine and in different cities, different countries. We've mentioned this. I think I remember specifically having the discussion with Sid as well. Why
Yes.
don't the umpires do this as well? I mean, why do
Yeah.
you not?
Yeah.
Why can't you have neutral umpires traveling along with both the teams? Because
Yeah.
in the same bubble, it's just 4 more people, right? One match
Yeah.
referee and 3 umpires, right?
Yeah.
and it avoids so much unnecessary discussion.
And I feel so bad for
Yeah.
home umpires now because they're always under the scrutiny, right? It's always
Yeah.
as if they're cheating. I mean,
Kushagra, Kushagra,
the accusation is like that.
Kushagra, I'll tell you something. Yesterday, I mean, not in a sense to give a cheap plug or something, but when we yesterday, as we released our Daniel Norcross episode, Mr. Norcross did mention in his interview he actually applauded the Indian umpires for doing a fabulous job.
Yes.
I mean, that's the first time I'm hearing that from any non-Indian fan. uh, in any generic sense. I've never heard that. That's something I'm oblivious to. But I mean, jokes apart, I think he was spot on with what he said. The close calls, now the currently the trend is that, if it doesn't look out on the naked eye, people go out and call the umpire biased if he gives the other way around. And
Yes.
even if
Yeah,
it becomes empire call, that's absolutely horrible. I mean, see, the view that we get the camera is coming down like this. The view that
yeah,
an empire gets is different. It's
It's like
entirely
that.
different. It's absolutely straight. uh, People
yeah,
have to understand that can make a hell of a difference, and we are in a vantage point when we are commenting on something like
And
that, because we
Anurag,
get
we get
replays and
50
everything.
replays. We get
Exactly.
50 replays. The umpire
Uh,
has to make a split-second decision.
Yes,
yeah,
correct.
precisely. And that's what irks me when people say, yeah, that didn't look out, but he gave it out, and now I'm in empire's call that has turned out to be out. It seems biased. I've had this discussion with, I think, almost everyone on the panel, this kind of the same
yeah,
discussion. And
Yes.
on a personal level, and I must admit that really seems horrific to me, because the umpires have such less time to react to it and all of that.
yeah,
Okay, coming to the yesterday's incident, I was still fine with a fact that they appealed for it, because maybe at
yeah,
that point in time the people
Yes.
who appealed did not get a 100% view of the did not get a 100% gist of the batsman's intention there. That is, I think, that is still fine. But
yeah,
for the third umpire to give it out, that for me
yeah,
was absolutely shocking. I mean, with
yeah,
all the replays that you have, with all, you could see his eyes are straight. You could see his eyes were nowhere close. He had no idea where the ball was. If anyone thinks that was
yeah,
deliberate, I mean, that was, I think, I just totally put this on the third umpire. I mean, I still don't
yeah.
blame
Exactly.
West Indian.
That's what
I still
that's
don't
what
blame
my
the West
question
Indian
I
is.
players
think,
for.
Anurag, why
Yeah.
doesn't the third umpire overrule the on-ground umpire?
yeah, fair
Why?
enough. We talked about this yesterday, right, Kushagra, where even this has happened before with the Indian and Australian team, where Sachin was called back after the umpire saw that, okay, the ball is way far away from the outside edge and you guys are still giving it out. Something that probably could have done happened yesterday. Pollard had right to appeal. It's fair enough. I
Yeah,
mean,
as
he
a
probably felt at that very moment. But
yeah, as a
the
ma'am
point being
says,
that once, as a,
exactly.
yeah,
He could have been. He could have done that. I mean, at least in cricket, I know, we being football and cricket fans, we don't see that sort of generosity or magnanimity in football. We don't get to see that. But in cricket, we are
yeah,
sort of used to it, and it is done or not done. That's a different thing. But
Yes.
at least you got the replays. You saw the batsman had zero intentions, and as a captain, it is still in your hand. You could still request the umpire to, uh, you know sort of, okay, chalo jane do, you just leave it. A captain in
yeah,
cricket has that power, and that is where I
Absolutely.
felt a little disappointed. But I would 95% put this blame for all of this to
On the
have
third
become such a
umpire.
ruckus on the third umpire. I
Of
still wouldn't
course.
blame the players to have appealed in the first place, because obviously, I mean, yeah, I don't think even they would have had any idea of the batsman's intention, because that all of that happened in a split second.
Yes.
yeah,
uh, but the third umpire, after all the replays that he had to give it out, that was horrible.
And I
Of
think,
course.
just to add to what Anurag also said, see, we really have to appreciate and laud these Indian umpires, Nitin Menon and Virender Sharma, for the job they did during the four Test series. And I think one thing that also puts an additional pressure on the umpires nowadays is that when there is a DRS call, from a team, then your decision, whenever you are calling for that, hotspot and all of that stuff, snickometer, your decision, what you're thinking at that moment, is actually being heard by the people who are watching the live match, from the stadium. Earlier, I think it wasn't the case that, what they were thinking and what their decision is actually is being heard live there. So उनका जो पहले आवाज था वो पहले आता नहीं था. बट आई थिंक वो भी कहीं ना कहीं एक प्रेशर होता है कि जब आपको पता है कि एक क्लोज डिसीजन है और आप ज्यादा टाइम ले रहे हो कि आउट है या नहीं है, आउट है या नहीं है, तो वो भी कहीं ना कहीं एक प्रेशर डालता है, क्योंकि अब एक तरीके से सब कुछ बहुत ही ज्यादा ट्रांसपेरेंट हो गया है. So according
Absolutely.
to me, I think that also puts some additional pressure on the umpires. But yeah, I
Absolutely.
think we really have to give it to them, because in the era of DRS, it's not easy to make these calls. And in a way,
yeah,
I think DRS के आने की वजह से एक बात तो जो कंफर्म हो गई है वो ये है कि umpires call now does not stand. मतलब उनका जो एटलीस्ट डिसीजन है वो फाइनल नहीं है. आप कोई भी जो टीम है वो रेफर कर सकती है. So yeah,
yeah.
Absolutely.
so we
We
really
are
have to give it to them.
Yeah, and just to translate that last bit for it, I think what Sid meant there, Nathan, was the whole umpire's call aspect of it. Whenever the umpire now gives an out or doesn't give an out, that
Yeah.
essentially is just the first parameter that you're crossing, right? Because the team can always appeal that decision, or the batter or the bowler or the opposing captain can always appeal that decision, and the decision goes to the third umpire there. So in the end, there is no finality in the decision with respect to the umpires. Also, he's talking about the credibility of the umpire always been under a little bit of a scrutiny because
Yeah.
if it's a home team umpire having given the decision in favor of the home team, and if the call is upheld only because of a slight snick of the ball because the umpire's call, then
Yeah.
he or she comes under tremendous pressure of actually having favored the home team. This is what I remember discussing with Pratnesh also earlier. We felt to an extent that that Menon and Shamsuddin and whoever was umpiring there in the India series, they seemed like they would have preferred to make an error for the English team rather than and make an error
Yeah.
for the team. They would rather err on the side of caution than err on the
Yeah.
side of
This happened after the second test, right, Kushagra? I mean,
looking like they were favoring the Indian team. While I felt not for a moment were they favoring anyone. They were quite honestly unbiased in that sense. Yeah,
I thought the umpires were actually were better than technology. I had more questions on the technology than I did of the umpires.
Yeah.
I even and that's when I get to see replay after replay. There was a couple of them I thought that's going over the top clearly, and then somehow it's an umpire's call. I'm thinking,
yeah.
is this technology, bro? And that's the first time I've ever questioned technology. It weren't favoured to either team, I don't remember anyway, or it weren't overly. But I thought technology was was poor, but the umpires, especially with how much it was turning, because a good thing, well, one thing you tend to see off of an inside edge or an outside edge is the ball moving. But with all the spin that was there, their first point of action is, well, it's spinning anyway. So did it come off the pitch or was it in the bat? So overall, I thought they did pretty well.
Yeah.
All right.
That's also
Fair point. We weren't really happy, Nathan, with the standard of umpiring in Australia. Let me be very honest there.
yeah.
Once again, forgotten the name. Paul Rice.
Nathan, I'm worried. Nathan, I'm worried for you guys when you go to the
Paul
when you go
Wilson.
down under. Yeah,
Paul
it was
Wilson.
Paul Wilson
Paul Wilson,
and
yeah.
his doppelganger Paul Rifle. The Pauls.
I mean, Paul Rifle and his doppelganger, man. Paul Rifle is the international cricketer. Come on.
Yeah.
You put him first.
I'm still wondering, do we call them doppelgangers because the Paul is the common factor here? Because
No, both of them are
facially, I
tall.
do.
Both of them
Acha.
are tall.
Yeah.
I'm talking purely from afar. They look like doppelgangers, not like literally face to
Yeah.
face. I mean,
Yeah. All
the,
right.
the
Fine.
physical stature is the same. That's
Yeah.
one. I'll take a few more comments,
That
guys,
makes
and
me
then
Paul Kumar Maurya, boys. That's not how it works.
You're not tall.
You're
No,
not
he's
tall,
not
man.
tall. Of course, he's not tall. Yeah, 6'4", isn't it, Atul? 3. 6'3".
Seriously, this guy is 6'3".
Yeah, buddy, he's taller than me. He's like, I think he's
What? No?
He's 6'3"
Are you
and a half,
kidding
dude.
me?
Yeah, he's 6'3" and a half. I am 6'3". So he's taller than me.
What?
How the hell that anyway, why are we discussing this on this live? Personal chat, guys. Personal chat. Sorry, it was Jay Shah, not Amit Shah. Masoom
No one
clarifies.
cares.
No one
That
cares.
run
Yeah.
was an embarrassment. Amit Anurag Pisara fan
sorry.
club, don't we all? Oh, he's talking
What?
about we want an Anurag Pisara dance. Is the what your fan club is demanding? We want an Anurag dance. I think his dance is this only.
Kushagra, if Anurag were to dance, we would come back to 6 subscribers.
And none of you corrected me or posed the question. I really actually I was actually thinking of Jay Shah when I called out Amit Shah. I actually didn't realize I was saying Amit Shah. So thanks, man.
I
for
was
correcting
thinking
me.
of that EA
Because
Sports
I did-
Cricket
it would
07
be-
fire.
Yeah.
Oh.
It would be pretty weird for the home minister of a country to announce a match, right? I mean, that
Yeah.
would really make sense. So, yeah. I also support the request for Anurag's dance. Anurag, you have got more requests.
Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Neha.
Anurag, now we can make it 7. Okay, you can dance.
Just in
Anand.
yes, PSL 2021 will resume in June. Yes, that's the
God.
recent update. That's great. The PCB and the franchises have come to an agreement. What is even better is South Africa don't suffer. Earlier, it was as almost a rumor flying out that even Pakistan might withdraw from that South African tour that they were going to do. instead of Australia,
Yeah.
which they've not withdrawn from. They're going to complete that tour. Then they're going to wait for the IPL to get over. Then I think they're going to take the time from
So,
early June till before the WTC and try to wrap up the PSL
but
before the
Kushagra, what about the Asia Cup then? I mean, will they not
Asia
let
Cup.
their Pakistan
So
stars have to go, right?
no. I think Asia Cup is gonna happen right along with the WTC. So at that point, I think
Yeah.
around 45 to 50 Indian players will be out, some place or the other. I think 30 in England, 30, 35 in England, and 15 for the Asia Cup. Oh, sorry, 20 for the Asia Cup because with COVID you'll
Yeah.
take 5, 6
It
extra
Around
should
players,
be
right?
it should be
around
25
17.
20. Yeah, it should be
No,
25
I
20.
think it'll be
Yeah.
30 and 20. I think 30 and 20.
And just
50
imagine
Indians.
that
Yeah.
those 17 18 players. I'm pretty much sure that for the Asia Cup, I'm pretty much sure that 90% of those will travel to England after that tournament for that India versus India series just before the tour of England,
Yeah.
just before the 5 test series of England. Yeah.
So basically, Sid, you mean to say they're going to travel for the biggest series of the year, right, in international cricket?
Oh yes, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's the biggest match of international cricket. India versus India. Eh?
India versus India, eh?
And
Cannot
I'm
wait.
really
I
excited.
cannot
I'm
wait.
really, really
So am
excited for
I.
that. Yes.
If there has to be live telecast, right? There has to be live
If
telecast
there
with
is
commentary
not,
on
if
it.
there is not, we are going and taking our GoPros and doing it. Doesn't matter.
How? They are in England, brother.
Bro,
जाएंगे कोई
seriously,
नहीं.
we don't have that much budget. You realize you can go by
Not
yourself.
yet.
I have
We are
zero
asking we
problem.
are asking for sponsors now for if that
And
if that.
Atul, stop being distracted here. Neha adds, Atul,
Oh
what is
my
this,
god.
man? What? Monitor is
Atul,
back.
what? Yes, what is
Very
back here?
soon, Atul, I'm going to come to you right after these comments, so be ready. Very soon, chat is going to chant for Anurag dance, dance, dance. Yes, but what is this? Butta Bomma dance? What is this? Butta Bomma.
There is this famous Telugu song Buttabomma, which David Warner also danced. It's fine, still ignore.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Atul Bhai looking gorgeous, beautiful, stunning today. Oh, ho, ho. All of them
Oh,
together. Tomorrow it will be a one-run win,
That's
Pavan.
that's
That will be a nail
Kushagra.
biter.
Audacity.
Kushagra, that was a reference to my Twitter post, the gorgeous,
Oh.
stunning, beautiful
Oh,
one.
I haven't checked Twitter in a couple of hours. I guess
yeah.
I'll check it out right after this live. But yes, he always does, by the way, Vipul. He's always gorgeous, beautiful, and stunning. Basically that is
Yeah.
the meaning of the word Atul, right? So tomorrow Kohli will become only the fifth Indian player to play 300 T20s after Dhoni, Raina, Rohit, and DK. All right.
KD,
DK?
just to pause you for a second. In today's the road safety series between England and South Africa we're playing. Do you any idea then who was the man of the match? It is Thandi Shabalala.
Thandi
Yeah, yeah.
Shabalala.
I remember him. I remember him. He played that 2007 DLF Cup between India and South Africa in 2007, the series that India won, and it happened in Ireland, Dublin.
There is only one
Is he
Shabalala
somehow?
that
There's
people,
only one
at least
Shabalala that
we
people
remember.
remember.
So
I
let's
mean, we
the
remember, but it's fine.
Sid, it was the time. It was the time when Dada
World
made
Cup,
his return,
2010.
or what?
No,
No,
it was
2007.
I'll tell you, it happened a couple of months after that
World Cup.
2007 World Cup debacle for India.
Disastrous World Cup.
Yeah.
It was that India
Yeah.
tour of England, in which India played that I think series in Ireland, as Sid is mentioning, and then
Yes,
India
yes.
played. I think Robin Uthappa scored very well in that series, if I'm not wrong. That was the
Yeah.
series in which he used to walk down the crease. That's the first time I've actually saw a batsman do that. Walk
Yeah,
down the
man.
crease.
We lost the series 4-3.
wonder-
We
Uh,
lost
Yeah,
the series 4-3, but he was the one who took it to the 3-3 scenario.
3-3.
Yeah,
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 we
Lord.
were 3-1 down or something like that. I
7
remember.
one days, dude. That was such
At
an
the Oval.
incredible. I mean, and that was
Yeah.
a time when one days used to happen after 3 days or 4 days.
That was the
So it
game
was,
where
it was
Mascarenas hit
yeah.
5 6s in an over, right?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
That
yes.
was the
Yes,
series.
yes.
That was
Piyush
series. Yeah.
Chawla, the first of which Piyush Chawla caught and then rolled himself into the boundary.
Yes.
And why?
Yes.
And people question
Yes,
why
yes,
yo-yo
yes.
test is prevalent in the current
And
scenario. That is why.
and no wonder, Robin Uthappa is known as walking assassin.
yes,
yes.
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 Robin. He's also been in
Uh,
good form. I think
I'm a big
the
fan
moment
of
you get
Robin Uthappa's
associated-
batting.
Same,
Just his
same.
batting. When he gets
Robin
The
going, he's
moment
such
you
a
get
They were just
associated
two
with
people.
CSK, I feel.
They were just two people, either Matthew Hayden or Robin Uthappa. They'll dance down the track. They'll not even dance. They'll walk down the track.
Walk.
They'll walk
They
down
just
the track.
walk.
And
They
they'll
just
hit
start
over.
walking. Like the bowler is in his stride, and this man is already walking on the pitch.
KD in the IPL in recent times, if you guys notice, especially when he was playing for KKR in that 2014 season when he won the purple cap,
Yeah.
he used to drive the ball so fiercely. He just used to touch the ball, but the ball used to race away like
Yeah,
he played a cross batted heave or something. My goodness, he was such
yeah,
a good timer of the ball. He is still.
All
yeah.
right. All right. I'll quickly finish off the final comments. We've taken Mom's comments about the magnanimity that probably the captain could have shown. Navjeevan asks, India and South Africa
Yes,
women
yes.
will start
Yeah,
at 9 a.m. in the morning. Yes, Navjeevan.
yeah.
The panelists have confirmed. अभी boring month है waiting for IPL 2021 IPL T20 में इंग्लैंड कुछ कंपटीशन दे बॉलिंग बहुत वीक आर्चर ही है दैट टू वो फुल पोटेंशियल पर दिखा नहीं है अभी तक इंडिया में All right, he means
दिल
it's a
छोटा मत कर भाई. अच्छा होगा सीरीज ये भी.
it's,
Yeah,
it's a boring month. I hope England gives us a competition in T20, brother. I think they will.
they
He
will.
thinks bowling is a bit weak, and he's not seen Archer on his full potential. Let's see. Let's see. I also don't understand why there was soft signal from on-field umpires when there is a doubtful catch somewhere on the boundary. Second part is why don't they just let the third umpire decide who is better equipped to make a decision in that
Sometimes
stage?
if the camera angles are
I
not available.
absolutely agree. I
Kushagra, if the
absolutely
cam
agree.
angles are not available for some reason, if the cam angles are not
Then go back
giving
to the
justice,
umpire,
then
na?
that is
Then
exactly
go
why
back
soft
to
signal
them.
exists. It's a soft
Don't
signal. That's
start
what it
with the
means.
soft signal, is what I'm saying. If the third umpire is having a doubt, then go to the soft signal, is what my
So by
point.
that time, basically the umpire has all the time in the world to overthink and forget what has exactly happened. Is what you mean?
I mean, I don't know. Listen, if you have technology, use it fully. If you don't want to use it fully, then what is this half and half you're doing? You're using
I
human
don't know.
element also, technology also. If technology is there, use it completely. Now, why leave a chance for any debate? Otherwise, don't use it.
Yeah,
I am in favor of not using technology. Remove VAR
yeah,
from football,
fair.
remove DRS from cricket. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
We can all have debates in the pub. It's fine. It's all been good fun. Uh,
Yeah.
नवजीवन राजपूत यस वापस ओबीएस डिस्कशन हो रहा है ओबीएस
Obvious.
OBS.
I'm
Does he
confused.
mean
I think
obvious?
obstructing the field, I guess.
Oh, obstructing the. Oh, yes.
What is
Well,
S?
we need an Indian Institute for Umpires as well. There are courses that different state
There are
associations.
courses. Yes.
DDC also runs. Pratnesh himself was telling me about it.
Yes.
Nathan, bro, how many is Butler going to score tomorrow? I'm going to go to Atul and then I'm going to go to Nathan because I want both of their reactions for the preview because both of them have spoken the least here. Wow, as soon as I said it, Nathan's like, screw this. I'm not going to come on the live. Oh,
He actually left.
he actually left. What? I think he might have a
Yeah.
internet issue. रोज एक आईपीएल टीम का प्रीव्यू ही कर
करेंगे
लो
भाई.
भाई करेंगे भाई
करेंगे.
मतलब
अप्रैल आने
हाँ
दो.
भाई आईपीएल 9 अप्रैल भाई 8 ही टीम है सब
Yeah.
रिव्यू करते हैं
We will start
एक
on
तारीख से भी
first.
शुरू किया तो 8 तारीख तक हो जाएंगे सारे तो
Yeah.
करेंगे भाई पक्का करेंगे इंडिया
Every day, cricket daily life, one cricket daily will be like dedicated to each team, and I'm sure RCB will eat up 2.5 hours.
भाई
Oh,
केकेआर तो हमारा मुझे लगता है 4-5 लाइव करने पड़ेंगे
We'll
इंडिया
have to
I'm
like
has been the
look at
second best
Siddharth. Look at
series.
Siddharth.
I'm back,
Oh,
I guess.
Acha, he's back. He's
yeah,
back.
yeah.
oh, he's back. His net
India's
was.
series has been the second best test series for umpires in terms of success rate since September 17. 65 reviews, 37 struck down, 16 umpires calls, 12 were upheld, which means 81.54 success rate. Nice.
That's a
And
good
success
start.
rate
Yeah.
Australia versus India was also 80%. All right. But it didn't really seem like India or Australia में सिर्फ 1.54% का अंतर था. Seemed a lot more, but I guess maybe
Yeah.
that's our bias talking. Actually 100 why isn't David Miller the new captain T20I Temba Bavuma को क्यों बनाया भाई ये तो साउथ अफ्रीका से पूछना पड़ेगा
South Africa. Yeah.
मैं तो नहीं जानता Colin de Grandhomme is set to be ruled out for cricket at least 8 weeks due to ankle surgery all right Nathan Barkley Kushagra should dance
Kushagra is the movie star. Yes. Kushagra, leave the press conference. Go and dance.
What press
Uh,
conference?
He's in the press conference in the movie, right?
Oh yeah.
IPL में
Come
तो
on,
फिर
boy.
तो-
No spoilers. Come on. I'm going to report you.
Amit
Arey, you
says
can.
Nathan Barkley I think he charges for shit like that Nathan कर देना GoPro पे से live stream from England Nathan Barkley
Yeah.
being a movie star and 2 spinners to 3 with a lot of due expected. कुलजोत ने दूसरी बार क्वेश्चन पूछा है. अतुल, आपके पास और सिड के पास मैं साथ नहीं आऊंगा because I know Sid also has to push in a few minutes, and we're also gonna be एक सेकंड. आपने लाइक किया था तो मेरे टाइमलाइन पे आया. भाई मैं अगर लाइक किया था तो मैं ऑनेस्टली मेरे दिमाग से स्लिप हो गया. आई एम सॉरी मैन. पलटी नहीं मार रहा यार. आई मीन आई एम नॉट
पलटी मारते हो. I like the language you use. Pulti.
Yes. Doom tararara. Yes. Matches taken by each team record their first 500 plus. Wow, Afghanistan's fantastic one. 500 plus just out of 6 matches. That takes some doing. Only 2 triple century partnerships happened in Test in UAE. Smith and AB, and of course Shahidi and Asghar. That's fantastic. Have you seen the 11 KD, Bruno? Bruno, I haven't seen the 11.
We have, yes, we have, but we'll probably talk about it later. I mean,
Vikrant,
no one really cares about
Vikrant here. Thank you so much for joining, Vikrant. First of all,
okay,
very happy to have you on board.
This is a challenge.
Sorry.
This is Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul,
Virat
Surya Kumar,
Virat Kohli,
Ishan
Kishan, Hardik, Rishabh, Washi, Dhruv,
Taken charges, okay.
And you.
Dhruv ने दीपक चहर.
Deepak Chahar.
Yeah, Dhruv Chahar कौन है? Deepak Chahar. Sorry.
Dhruv Shore.
Dhruv Shore, Anurag.
Bruno, you should be warming up. Varun says. I think this is the most dead Milan versus United match. Sorry. We've had some classic UCL games. Now look.
No football.
It's the most dead tournament in the entire world.
Each other in the Europa.
Bruno, no football.
No football, but yeah, it's a relatively big match today. Angelo Matthews to leave West Indies. He needs to return home for a family matter. Let's hope everything is fine.
Yes.
My Wi-Fi disconnected from my phone. All right.
And he's back already.
And you're by. Okay, guys, enough of this talk. Let's talk United now, of course.
You go and warm up, man.
Shashank says England 11, Butler, Roy, Malan, Billings, Morgan Stokes, Sam Curran, Moeen, Adil, Archer, Wood. No Bairstow, Livingston, Jordan, or Topley. All right, I'll come to Nathan with this, but before I come to Nathan, I'll of course come to Atul. And quickly, Atul, if you could give me your reaction to the 11 forget the 11. Your reaction to Rohit and Rahul being confirmed as openers and no Shikhar. I think that's a good decision taken by the Indian manager.
Kushagra, before I start about Rahul and Rohit, just a little on the United Milan thing. See, it's being the two of the fiercest people out in the society. Okay, seen somewhere where they both don't want to be seen. That's the kind of situation it is. So yeah, but I think I was the one who shared it with you when I saw it on ESPN Cricket Info, where that KL, Rahul, and Rohit are going to open for the team. So even yesterday I was vouching for KL to start. But again, feeling bad for Shikhar. But if KL and Rohit get that opportunity, I think KL and Rohit both will have the license to go all guns blazing from the word go. And that's something I would really want to see, because again, see, Kushagra, we've finally got the thing where Rohit got his 100 in the Test series. Okay, now let's wait for a Rohit 100 in a T20. Why not? And
Rohit would have scored a double 100 back in the day at Indore. I remember. If he plays like that, that's how we want him to play.
Against Sri Lanka in 2017.
Yeah, against Sri Lanka. Yes.
Come on, man. That man batters Sri Lanka like it's nothing, to be honest. But yeah. but think of it. The form KL was in the IPL. Then when he played in Australia, KL looked good. But again, those mammoth totals in the ODIs we got around 390. It needed team effort, so we lacked that. Right. So I think personally KL will be looking forward to these matches, because again, itna chance mila nahi in the Test series. So hopefully KL does well, and Rohit is in brilliant form. The pitch is not going to turn from ball one. Rohit is going to take 1 over to settle, and then we'll start seeing those pull shots. Whether it's A, B, C, any of the bowler, he'll just walk down the track and start smashing the spinners as well. I hope it's a good thing, and we do get to see that opening stand we've been looking for a long time now. And apart from it, Kushal, you asked the question, and I'll just sum it up shortly. I think Akshar, Washi, and Chahal, 3 of the spinners will play because of D1 stuff. And apart from it, Hardik Pandya can bowl, Deepak Chahar and Bhuvi. So I think that's the option India have. So they can go by it. So I think India will go for 3 spinners. That's their USP. And agar unko lagega ki one of the spinners is getting battered, Hardik Pandya comes in for covering those 2 overs. So yeah, that's what I can talk about India right now.
Sid, what about you? In fact, rather, I'll just quickly take Nathan's comments, and then
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can
yeah.
have a good 8 to 10 minute segment with you. Nathan, this is what we've had as a prospective 11 for England. We did discuss this yesterday with you, but all in all, if you've had the opportunity to actually listen to Owen Morgan and his press conference, what is the sense that you're getting there? He's mentioned that Jofra Archer is fully fit and ready for the series. How far do you believe him completely, and or do we not take him on face value, because there have been different rumors around Jofra Archer about his fitness as well. Do you
Yes.
expect to see him tomorrow in the lineup, in the lineup that takes the field tomorrow? Also, in terms of the spin bowling options, are you still firm with Moeen and Adil, considering Dew could be a massive factor? Do you really think England will still go in with the wrist spinner?
Adele's a say he will definitely start. Moen's probably a bit more questionable, but I think he'll play Moen. He likes his two spinners. But back to that team that you put up before, Jordan will start. He starts every T20 game, and because he doesn't play 50 over cricket, he won't be rested. Bairstow will play over Billings, but you might see Billings in a game or two. You might rotate a couple of the batsmen around just to see the best combination. And pretty 99, as certain as you can be, Butler and Roy will be the openers. With Archer, I think he will start on Friday, but I don't think he'll play every game. I think he'll probably play 3 of them. Game 1, 3, 5. It's just this elbow thing. It just seems to be quite a mystery. Apparently, he's done 2 different areas of his elbow. So, the one that put him out, was it started last year, I think?
Yeah.
It seems to be a different elbow injury now, apparently. I would trust Morgan when he says he's fit. He's not a mind game type of guy. He's very complimentary of the other teams, but he's not a mind player going, he's fit, and then he's not. So if Morgan says he's fit, I'd say he's fit.
All right.
And he'll start tomorrow.
Fair
Okay,
enough.
I have a question for Nathan. Just a short, quick question. Nathan, we saw during the IPL that Joss Butler, when pushed down the order, he did well for Rajasthan Royals. Yeah, I mean, IPL cannot be the criteria for the, let's say, maybe the England's maybe middle order selection here. But would you be tempted to have someone like Joss in the middle order, considering that the T20 World Cup is going to be held in India, and he might have to, let's say, you would really want to have someone with the experience of Joss who can counter the spinners well, and probably have let's say Bairstow to open the innings with Jason Roy.
Morgan said he wants his best batsman to open, and in one day cricket, Josh Butler's our best batsman, so that's why he'll always open. I'm not sure where Bairstow fits. Is it 4, 5, or 6? I think he'll probably be at 4, Morgan 5, Stokes 6. But in such a short game, you need your best batsman at the top, and that's why Butler will be the opener.
Makes sense.
All right, makes sense. Sid, coming back to you, man. In terms of the 11 that we're talking about, just a similar question on that, the question that Kuljot was also asking. Of course, there is another question here as well. The last question is Butler the best ever white ball batsman England have ever had? Wow, that's a huge compliment to give. I would again mention a guy mentioned yesterday. Call me biased, call me whatever. I think Kevin Peterson is that guy, but
He was.
Nathan's free to answer that.
Even Owen Morgan at some point is better than
Exactly.
Josh Butler, don't you think?
Joe Root is
yes.
better
He
than
is
Josh
the better.
Butler for me.
Morgan has
Joe
a
Root is better.
decent case to compete with Peterson. Butler has his time. He can be, no denying,
Yeah.
but not.
He has to
Peterson,
do
yeah.
it. He has to do it, Sid.
Yes.
Sid, coming back to you, what about
Yes.
how do you see the Indian 11 shaping up with respect to the bowling combinations? Do you think India go in with three spinners and 2 seam bowling options along with Hardik, or do we, because you also yourself mentioned at the start, Hardik probably
Yeah.
bowls a couple of overs. If he is
Yeah.
a couple of bowlers option, then he's basically eating away 2 overs from one or two of the bowlers, right? The 5 bowlers that have been picked as a cover for them. But or India go in with only 5 bowling options and try to strengthen the batting, given how deep England bat.
I think Hardik Pandya definitely plays at 6, and then you'll have your couple of all rounders and three genuine bowlers. I think we saw during the Sayyid Mushtaq Ali Trophy this year that the pitches that were used at the stadium, they did help the spinners. So in
Yeah.
that case, I think India could be tempted to play three spinners. However, if dew is the factor, then I think India will have three genuine seamers with Bhuvi, uh, Deepak Chahar, and maybe either of Shardul Thakur or Navdeep Saini, and Hardik Pandya, provided he bowls a couple of overs. And then you have just two spinners in Yuzvendra Chahal and Washington Sundar. You really don't want your spinners to have that difficulty of gripping the ball, because we know how good England batsmen can be, how good hitters they can
Yeah.
be. So you have
Yeah.
Morgan, who I feel his six hitting ability is second to none, according to me. He is my personal favorite. So yeah, with the England middle order, and I think of course you also have Moeen Ali, Tom Curran, who can also hit those big sixes. So you wouldn't want too many spinners in your side. Perhaps let's say if the pitch is actually assisting a lot of a lot to the spinners, then you can probably have Rohit Sharma maybe bowl an over or two. If that's actually going to be the maybe the worst case if that happens. But I think for me it's going to be three genuine seamers, two spinners, with one spinner being an all-rounder here, spinning all-rounder, and then hoping that Hardik Pandya bowls those couple of overs. So that makes a very, very strong lineup.
All right. I think that about sums it up for us, because I think you've got most of the bases covered. I think beyond that, you would obviously be expecting your big name batsmen to come to the fore and
Yeah.
not leave so much for the people who coming down the order there. But again, I would still want India to try to make a spot for Surya Kumar Yadav. Probably try to fit in an Ishan Kishan. But again, then you can only play 11 people, right? So
I've
Yeah.
got a
it's a tough
question on your
call. It's a
bowling.
tough. Sorry, Nathan.
So I've got a question about your bowling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please.
I'm going off a lot of the IPL that I've watched with regards to Booby. But what about the idea of bowling in 3 overs at the start? Because I see him better at the start than at the death. So bowling in all 3 overs that he can in the power play.
Who?
But I'm
Deepak
He
just,
Chahar?
can.
Deepak-
Bhuvneshwar, he says about
Bhuvneshwar.
Bhuvneshwar Kumar. I
Okay.
do partly agree, but I think the Bhuvneshwar Kumar that you're referring to was a slightly older version of Bhuvneshwar Kumar. He has
Yes.
adapted himself over the years in
Yeah.
such a beautiful way that he's honestly, in my opinion, he's as good a death bowler as he is a new ball bowler.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
whenever that's one of the reasons why whenever Bhuvaneshwar Kumar and Jasprit Bumrah are fit, those two for me they pick themselves immediately. I know there is Mohammad
Yeah.
Shami who's a fantastic wicket taker and is a great proposition in himself as well, but there's always this great liking for me, especially when it comes to Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, and this has nothing to do with IPL. It's just generically he's such a fabulous talent, and I think in a sense maybe Deepak Chahar is one such
Yeah.
bowler like that who can bowl the first 3 overs
Yeah.
in the power
Yes.
play, and then maybe he can bowl it anywhere where he wants.
Yeah.
I don't think he has it. Deepak Chahar, I at least we haven't seen enough. Uh, the sample size is not good enough to suggest that he is a good uh, death over bowler
That,
or he's a bad death over bowler. But I
Yeah.
think, yeah,
you just see CSK Anurag, they tend to bowl him out in the first
yeah,
inning.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what
I
Dhoni
think
does.
that's what will happen with Washington and Deepak Chahar. I feel. I think both of them will bowl out early in the first 10 overs. I think
That's
both
such a
of them.
I
lethal
don't
new ball
utilize
opener.
it
Yeah,
because
yeah,
in terms of economy, the two of them, the pair of them, have some of the best economy in power play
Yeah.
economy in the world amongst any league or
Yeah.
any franchise for that
And
matter.
then
So I think
Kushagra also.
the objective would be
What
the same.
what happens is when you bowl these two guys initially, out of 10 overs, probably they bowl 8 overs, right? It
Yeah.
gives you so many options in the final 10 overs. You got to choose between Hardik, Chehel, if Shardul plays, and maybe Shardul, Bhuvneshwar, obviously. So you got a lot of four bowling options to bowl 10 overs. Like, so basically, you can just give two of the bowlers a little rest as well. Probably chop and changes whatever is happening. That's
Yeah.
that's a really interesting factor here. If these two guys can bowl early on, and considering the fact that maybe if Jasprit Bumrah will definitely come, right,
Yes.
during the T20 World Cup. So in that case, then either one of Bhuvneshwar or Bhuvneshwar and Bumrah can obviously bowl at death, but then you can have someone like Shardul or even Deepak Chahar in the team in the T20 World Cup and actually bowl those early overs, give India an advantage. He swings the ball well. He's one of those that with the white ball he gets a little nip because he bowls in the early 130s kind of pace. So he gets that genuine swing going. So I think that can help him, and it would be really interesting because he's bowled at Chepauk for God knows how much time. He's done so well for CSK, and let's not undermine the fact that that pitch is tailor made for spinners, and there
Yeah.
is absolutely nothing on offer for the Pacers.
And he's done quite well to actually utilize that pitch to his advantage. All right, guys,
I think
I'll come.
we are also forgetting one man who might feature in some part during the series, and it's Natarajan. I think he's
Yeah.
Oh
currently
yes,
having some injury, and once he gets
Yeah.
fit, I think it's going to be a happy headache for Virat Kohli to have, because then you
Absolutely.
have Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Shardul, Deepak Chahar, Hardik Pandya probably, and then you have Navdeep Saini and Natarajan coming in, and currently you do not have Jasprit Bumrah.
Bumrah and
So,
Shami.
man, seriously,
And Shami.
this is this is a good headache.
no headache is a good headache.
This is next level, brother. I mean, this is fantastic for India. I'll come to you guys for your final comments. We're gonna end the light earlier today. Surprise, surprise. Even with me, you're not getting to extra time today because, well, I think 1, 2, 3, 4 of us at least have to watch a match of football. Uh, I think Nathan keep an eye out for it. Milan versus United. I'm pretty sure Sid. I don't know Sid if you're going to be watching the football match. I don't know if you really. Are you a
No,
United?
no,
Do you
I
watch
would
football?
have. Yeah, I do watch, but I would have watched had it not been for a college project. So yeah, I'll have to focus on
No worries,
that.
no worries, no worries. All right, guys.
That's called dedication, which we lack quite seriously, especially with football.
Yeah, Anurag, let's not air
one
our
thing,
dirty laundry.
one thing that I have realized, and I would really like to use this platform to say this, that it's very important to do projects in this field, specifically in the sports
Yeah.
field, because it actually helps you build your portfolio. So yeah, to all the youngsters watching this, and to all the youngsters on this show, I would also like to call myself a youngster. That yes, it is important.
Okay, so
Nicely put, brother. So Sid, before I take the final comments, I know you've got to push in a couple of minutes.
Yeah,
So
man. Yeah.
just your final views on how do you expect the match to go tomorrow, and just a cheeky prediction as well, if you could give us for where the match will go and
masala content.
basically just tell us how India will win, basically, right? I mean that's what you're going to do essentially. I know that.
I think
Masala.
team winning the toss might actually opt to bowl first, probably because of the due factor. And if that happens, I think it would be nice to restrict the team batting in the first innings to around maybe around 170 to 180, because anything above 220 230, like we saw during that I remember a game specifically between India and West Indies in Mumbai in 2019. Yeah. So I think it was that moment when India went on to score 240 odd, where the West Indies did win the toss and opted to bowl in. And in Mumbai, we see that there is a lot of dew for
Yeah.
for the team bowling second. So yeah, I think anywhere around 220 230 might actually favor the team batting first. But yeah, if you can stop them to around 160 to 180, then it should be fine. So yeah, toss will play a very crucial role.
All right, fair enough. And just a prediction for the match. If you want to place your bets on any team, would you place them on India?
Uh, I
Or
usually
would you just wait for the first match to get over and then see from the second match onwards?
yeah, I'm going to wait for that, and I really hope that of course, the best team, may the best team win. But if I really have to make a bold prediction, then yes, I expect India to go the distance tomorrow.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Thank you so much, Sid.
Challenge declined.
Challenge
A
decline.
panelist to not use the word football on TSD Cricket Live. No,
Declined
TSL,
straight away.
right?
Not even considering.
Navjeevan, there are three panelists right now. I mean, not three, sorry, two panelists right now are wearing a Manchester United jersey. The other one is wearing a red, which is similar to what probably Manchester
It's
United used.
Lancashire. Oh,
I mean,
come
it's
on, it's
Lancashire Lightning.
Lancashire.
I know it's Lancashire
Yeah.
Lightning jersey, but then
All
it's
right, all right, all
Navjeevan,
right.
red.
Navjeevan,
Guys.
Navjeevan, you made Kushagra
Yeah.
use the word by asking him to read the comment.
Look at Nathan.
Yeah.
I'm not a full kit.
He's gone full kit now. He's gone full
Yep.
kit. he's up for the celebration there. So, but yeah, massive shout out to Cricket Spectacles there as well. Siddharth's channel there. Do check out their YouTube page, of course, YouTube account. They've come out with new episodes as well quite recently.
Yeah,
The preview for the England versus India, sorry, India versus England, India host. So India versus England T20I series, and I hope that you guys are following them on their YouTube channel. Check them out on Twitter as well. Do give them a follow there. Sid, I'm sure you guys must be in the process of setting up on Facebook and Instagram soon as well. So do
absolutely,
keep an
absolutely.
eye out for that. Follow Mr. Gulati on his socials. You will be updated of all the all the happenings that are there with his channel as well. So thank you
Thank
so
you,
much
thank
once
you.
again, Sid, for joining us here. Very, very happy to have you here and hope to see you soon again.
Yeah, yeah. Always happy to contribute.
I always, always lovely to have you on board, brother. Thank you.
All right. Good night.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Good night. Good night. And as Sid takes his leave, I'll come to you guys for final comments. Before the final comments, Pratmesh, you'll have to tell us about the Vijay Hazare Trophy as well. A little bit because I'm sorry, but today I don't think we've got that amount of time for
Yeah,
a proper chatterbox. So quick
yeah.
summation in a couple of minutes if you could give us of both the semifinals there that we saw today. Prithvi
Oh,
Shaw on fire.
yeah. My final comments are my first comments, so interesting, but okay. Prithvi Shaw, yes, Prithvi Shaw was brilliant again. And I mean, there is the only disappointment today again was why doesn't Mumbai games get telecasted? What is wrong with you guys? Set up another station, play a semi-final on the second day. What's the problem? Why wouldn't you
Pratmesh,
broadcast a game?
it's not a Mumbai game. I mean, I'll just take 20 seconds for this. But Karnataka and Mumbai are playing. Man,
Yes,
it's the heavyweight of the heavyweight playing against each other. And agar ऐसे domestic games if you're not telecasting, what other games do you expect the fans to watch? From a generic perspective, obviously,
yeah.
people from Uttar Pradesh and people from was it who was the other team playing
Gujarat,
today? I see. Gujarat.
Gujarat.
Yeah, they'll
Yeah.
definitely watch it. Due respect. But again, if it's
Anurag,
between the
at
one,
least
is
put
that
it
even
on
a question?
OTT, right? Put it on OTT
Yeah,
at
that
least.
was disappointing. Okay, anyways, yeah.
The thing is, at least put it on OTT. If you do not have enough channels, put it on OTT. There, people can watch whatever they want to. Okay, coming back to that. Unfortunately, since there is no highlights of that innings, I can only go by the scorecard and go by the commentary given by Cricinfo. Yes, 165 for Prithvi Shaw, really good innings. Kushagra, I was a bit surprised by the way Shams Mulani played because I've never seen him bat
Yeah.
this high up the order at number 4, and he did bat very slowly, but him and Aditya Tare basically just were support for Prithvi Shaw, and they did very well. They knew that had they lost their wickets, Prithvi Shaw didn't have any support, and both of them batted well in a way. Shivam Dubey was there, got a little bit of blitzkrieg there, but didn't really contribute much to scoring anyone apart from Prithvi Shaw. Ended up scoring 322, and then Karnataka Ravi Kumar Samarth was out early, and we talked about this yesterday that if the openers were to get out early, this is a game worth watching. And Ravi Kumar Samarth did get out early. Manish Pandey got out early. Krishnamurti Siddharth got out early, and then Devdutt Padikkal was also out for 64. And after that, the match didn't have any other ending than a Mumbai victory. So a good win for Mumbai there. Probably the highlights would be that Sarath scored 61 of just 39 for Karnataka. Krishnappa Gautam looked good, so I think they can take that as something as a positive sign, and they can go into the IPL a little more confident. Is what I feel. The second game, the one which is actually broadcasted, massive credits because that game was actually interesting. Because I watched when Gujarat batted, and the way UP bowled was fantastic. They bowled with the right lines and lengths. I absolutely loved the way there was this young man named Akib Khan who bowled today. His coach was almost like on the boundary and just screaming and shouting and making sure that he bowled well. And he did. He bowled 10 overs, 22 runs, and 2 wickets and 2 maidens. So he bowled really, really well. Some a really good performance by them. Heth Patel scored 60. Priyank Panchal got it early. Interesting how all these big names got out early today, but I mean, massive kudos to the bowlers who actually bowled well. To be fair, yes, Dayal took 3 wickets and chasing. They were 45 for 3 at one point, Uttar Pradesh, when they lost Priyam Garg. But then I think Akshdeep Nath played well, Upendra Yadav played well, and they got over the line. I mean, 187 wasn't so big of a target after all, and Massive kudos to UP for reaching the finals of the Vijay Hazare Trophy. Interesting final. I'm pretty sure that's going to be broadcasted. If that isn't, that's tough. But okay. So yeah, looking forward to the final. I mean, I just can't wait to see Prithvi Shaw batting, and I hope he bats well in the final. Having said that, UP are a tough bowling lineup. They've proven this in the Vijay Hazare Trophy this season. Atul is very happy about that, but I mean, I genuinely worry for the Mumbai batting lineup because after Prithvi Shaw, basically it's all left on to Prithvi Shaw, and if he doesn't score half or three fourth half or 70% of your runs at times, then you might not end up scoring a big score. That is how this lineup is at this point of time. But never know what happens.
All right, but coming back to this also, the India versus England T20 series as well. Your opinions on the batting order, the fact that Surya Kumar Yadav, it seems like he might not be part of the 11. We're not sure yet. I wouldn't be surprised if he's given a shot in the 11 there. But just your initial your reaction on that, and just the prospective 11 that we've been talking about.
Talking about tomorrow's game, obviously, pitch is a major talking point. The reason being that, I mean, it's not a talking point in terms of it making an argument, but probably the way it will define the game. Because in a T20 game, we saw it in the SMAT as well. They left a lot of grass on the pitch because they knew it was going to crumble, and it has to be live grass. It can't be dead grass either. So it will be freshly cut probably in the morning tomorrow or something of that sort. So it will be freshly trimmed in the morning. That is probably something that can happen, which means that when dew comes down, the ball will slide quickly. And then, if you're able to get some swing in the air, the ball will go even quicker off the pitch. So, that is something that the bowlers could exploit, which is why I feel Indians will themselves be very tempted to play three pacers and then Hardik to add to that. I mean, if Hardik is going to bowl his quota anyway. So, I think that could be an interesting choice for India if they have to make it that way. There will be turn and bounce. Obviously, there will be if the bowlers can exploit it in certain patches. But then again, I feel it will be a decent batting wicket, somewhere around the 160, 170 wicket. I don't expect it to be a 180, 190 wicket. It's Ahmedabad after all, and it should be great fun. About the players that I'm looking forward to tomorrow, obviously in the Indian lineup, I expect Surya to play. I expect the number 7 to be Washington, then Shardul, Bhuvneshwar, Deepak, and Yuzvendra Chahal. I don't think there is any much of a doubt in the rest of the team. The two players I'm definitely looking out for, one from India, one from England. One is KL Rahul. Obviously, how he plays, because KL's T20 record, no matter where he bats, it's still been fantastic. In T20Is, he looked really good in Australia. He scored a 50 in Australia in the T20s. So definitely someone to look forward to, and I hope he has a good series because this goes a long way to strengthening the Indian batting for the World Cup, and not just probably for the World Cup, probably for the next few years to come with KL Rahul, probably even getting more chances in the ODI setup is what I feel. If he bats well here, he would be an interesting one, and how his partnership with Rohit gels and develops, and what kind of strategy they use early on. The English batsman I'm looking forward to is Johnny Bairstow. And the only reason I say that is because we've seen Johnny Bairstow play excellently well in one days. We've seen him smash it all around the park for Sunrisers Hyderabad. We have seen Johnny Bairstow in the white ball format for England after 2015 being absolutely brilliant. And this is where he comes into his own, right? He scored around 70 or 80, if I'm not wrong, against South Africa in the last T20I series that they played. He looked in good nick in South Africa, and here it won't spin or seam as much as it would on any other pitch because of the condition of the pitch that it is, and that is why I feel pitch is important. And this is where Johnny Bairstow can actually hit through the line, make sure that the bounce is true and then absolutely hit through the line and score his runs. He's good of the back foot, which will help him on a track that bounces a lot more than the other tracks. So this will be an interesting one. I'm really looking forward to Johnny Bairstow. Nathan, I hope he doesn't get bowled tomorrow. I mean, for all the things that we have said about Johnny Bairstow in red ball cricket, is a different animal when it comes to white ball cricket, and I hope the white ball Johnny Bairstow stands up
Me
Well,
too,
I
mate.
don't. Okay.
tomorrow.
All right. I'll quickly take a final few comments and then come to the three of you for your final comments. Thank you so much for that, Pratmesh. Let's hope the Vijay Hazare Trophy, the final that is. Again, once again, it's a competitive match. We've seen it was a bit of a low-scoring affair between UP and Gujarat, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
I just want it to be a 270, 280 at least, and a good chase.
Yeah.
Whether they get it, they stumble at the end. I mean, I just want it to go to the 45th over in the second innings.
Yeah.
That's fun for me. Uh, where were we in the comments, guys? Sorry, guys, might not be able to take all of the comments today. Might not be able. CSK has actually uploaded MSD practicing, so that's been an interesting watch.
Yeah.
We'll be Tala coming back. All of our heartstrings are being pulled all over again. Format T20s. Rohit has opener. Of course, he's given us the stats. It's great. It's great. I mean, the average is somewhat the same. The strike rate is much
Strike
better.
rates high. Yeah.
Course, Shashank saying Hardik will only bowl in the IPL, and Ignita Money just confirming that with Mumbai Indians. Isn't that the troll DP? Isn't it? The guy,
No. That's not Trolls DP. Maybe it might be. I'm not sure, but this is not his DP for sure.
What if all these fake accounts were just one person?
It'll be hilarious.
Whoa, it
It'll
will
be
be hilarious.
hilarious.
Yeah.
It'll be hilarious. I agree with Siddharth Sir's combination for the playing 11. I love how Siddharth is now being addressed as Sir. Nice one, Bappu. Nice one. Just because he gave us a
Senior.
little bit of knowledge, as in youngsters must take care of the projects quite sincerely, which is spot on there. Do
Yeah.
listen to be like Siddharth, not like us. The sincere soul, and
Yeah.
complete your stuff on time. Nathan Rogue, Bhuvneshwar Kumar is equally good in the power play and at the death. Vipul adds. All right.
Yeah.
Nathan was asking, according to me in T20s, Bhuvi over Bumrah, over Shami, over Nattu, over Shardul, over Deepak. How is Deepak last, brother?
I don't know.
I think
I'm just going to be like
Nataraj in the sample size is still little small,
very
so I'd
small.
put him
But
third.
what is
Fourth
Cheher
in
done
that
to be last?
Isn't
Yeah.
he the Rajasthan fan?
He is the
He
Rajasthan fan, yes.
You should put
Shashank, yes.
You should have put a Rajasthan player at the start just to our
Karthik
knees up.
Tyagi. Karthik Tyagi.
Karthik Tyagi,
You
yes.
should put Karthik Tyagi first.
I'm
Yes.
not even sure Nathan
Because-
recognizes. Yeah.
No, I'm sure Nathan will after this season. He will recognize Tyagi.
Yeah.
Tyagi will
I've heard the
be more
name.
matches.
I don't remember it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did
He's an
play for
under 19
Rajasthan.
player. Yeah.
Yeah, he did play for Rajasthan last year as well. He did play a few matches. Most times he's for 4 overs in the first 7 kind
Deepak
of
Chahar.
bowler. Deepak
Yeah.
Chahar is what we're talking about. All right. Kushagra, bro, 5 minutes of this live stream provides more entertainment than watching United play. for nine.
Go watch the game of Sunday.
All right.
Go back.
All right. All right. Oh, it's 37 degrees tomorrow in Ahmedabad with 27%
रात को
humidity.
पता नहीं
Sir.
कितना होगा.
Well, at least the 27% humidity is fine. It's fair enough. But I'm pretty sure in the evening it might come down to around 31, 32. Still hot.
Yeah.
Still hot to play cricket in. I mean,
We don't reach that at
average-
midday.
average age this year, CSK 30. I think they were 34 or something last year.
Yeah, they did a massive job. Yeah.
30 is still an improvement. 28. Okay. CSK the oldest, RR the youngest. Let's see. Drop a link of the channel. Oh, did you
The
take
Cricket
it?
spectacle.
We'll do that.
Yeah, we will drop that. And also, for anyone interested, just check out YouTube. Type Cricket Spectacles. You will find that. You'll find the channel there. It's just a very new channel. Do go, like, share, and subscribe. Spectacles ka spelling nahi aata. You don't know.
That's the
spelling.
right one.
That's the right spelling.
You've
He's
written,
written-
Shashank is absolutely correct. Just add an S at the end because it's the plural. So you're right there. Smriti Mandana, I would like to read these comments and then probably finish off the comments there. Stressed about the need for Indian women to be informed about the schedule. Of course, proactively working with the BCCIs. Fair enough. Focus will be on the fielding and fitness next year as they prepare the 50-over World Cup. They were the runner-ups in 2017. How is the ground where Mumbai played Karnataka Kushagra? I heard the venue does not have the infrastructure required that the setups
Yeah.
could be made for a telecast. Okay,
Yeah, when I've heard
Palam
this,
ground. Palam ground does not have the setup. I mean, it does not. It really does not. Navjeevan.
Yeah.
Then again, it's the fault of the organizers for choosing Palam ground because they didn't know. If it's not as if they didn't know that what Palam infrastructure facility.
Kushagra, isn't there a better ground in Greater Noida? Isn't there a better ground in Greater Noida?
I mean, basically, so the biobubble doesn't extend to Greater Noida, right?
Yeah.
Greater Noida is 65 kilometers from here. So that's the
Yeah.
thing. So 65
That's just the
kilometers.
metro. That's just the metro.
It's a good 45-50 kilometers easy from here. So, and Palam ground, otherwise it's a very picturesque ground, bro. It's like one of those old tiny grounds with small stands and nice hut pavilions for both the teams. So it's a really good, really picturesque ground, but it's a small ground. It's basically a recreation ground for the Air Force,
Yeah.
which has now been converted into a multi-use Ranji ground as well. Delhi often play the Ranji matches. The ball in
KD,
the winters swings like
yeah,
a banana.
yeah. Just look at Masum's the most recent comment.
Yeah, I will.
Oh, that was
Oh God!
disappointing.
Yeah,
Basilashvili won.
yeah.
Yes, he did. I was following the scores. I didn't want to tell you this,
Cricket
Kushagra.
spectacle.
I thought.
All right, Siddharth has corrected us. It's cricket spectacle, not spectacles. And so thank you so much, Siddharth, for correcting us. And we'll have that. We'll have the team behind that. TSG staff behind them all. Behind
No.
Seriously, bro.
behind who?
इतने वेले तो
यार
है नहीं.
नवजीवन हम यहाँ पे सामने we're doing the live in
Yes,
front
it
of you.
is trolls BP. Varun, just confirming that for me. All right, guys,
Okay.
Yeah.
your final
We'll
comments
have to
there.
finish. Yeah.
We have to finish in another couple of minutes. So on that note, that Basilashvili is one. I'm pretty disappointed there. The night is already off to a shit start. Coming back to you, Nathan. Just your final comments on the match. How do you see it going tomorrow, and how do you see the England team performing?
Well, luckily we're not playing a unique kit, so we've got a bit of favouritism for us there. But all serious notes, I think it'll be close. I quite like us to bat first because you say you don't want to get the due, but there's probably going to be due when it comes to the World Cup. So it will be a good practice for the World Cup to actually start playing in due. And I think what we might see more of is Adil bowling a little bit earlier in the overs, whereas in the ODIs recently he's been bowling towards the end. But I think he will probably come on the 6th, 7th over and bowl out pretty quickly from then.
Don't be surprised, Nathan, if he opens the bowling.
I would be surprised if he opens it.
Yeah.
I think you might see Mo bowl an over in the power play, but you won't see a Adil bowl in the power play.
You'll definitely see Indian spinners bowl in the power play. You'll definitely see that. I can assure you that.
And you'll see us hit him into the stands.
Yeah, try sending Washington into the stands. I bet you.
It's a little tough. It's a little tough because those guys are very accurate there. I mean, if you very well could go into the stands there. I'm not doubting that, but I'm just saying I'm pretty sure the Indian approach is gonna have a spinner in the power play. I think England might follow suit as well.
Yeah, if it will be Moen if it's going to be that, but I just hope it's the two best teams by miles in the one-day format. I just hope it's a cracking series that we can just enjoy, unlike the Test series. Yeah, it might last longer than the Test matches, might
it? Nathan, we did enjoy the Test series, by the way. So
we did enjoy it, yeah.
Cricket lovers want to enjoy.
Look at this comment from Shivam and then the last comment from Masoom. Prediction tomorrow, England wins tomorrow by 38 runs. England 188, India 150. Masoom says Shivam trying to reverse jinx. Yeah, I think that's exactly what he's trying. It's exactly what he's trying. Atul, I'll come to you, man. Your final word on the match tomorrow. How do you think it will go?
Kush, I predicted
Parth also adds number 4 spot is hotly contested again. Yes, brother. I think Ahil also asked, Kalka playing 11 kya hoga. Ahil, I'll give you my 11 right at the end. Atul, your comments.
I predicted the series to be 4-1 win for India. So let's see. We let England win any one of them. Nathan, that's your choice. Which one you want to win? Okay.
So, I feel honored we get the choice.
I know, Nathan, I know this is going to come back and bite me in my ass, but then again, just for the sake of it, I'm saying it. So I think
clarified where it will bite him, huh?
Yeah.
I had to. That's my USP. But yeah, again.
Attention to detail.
Meet me after the live, okay, fine. But yes, I think let's may the best team win tomorrow. Let's see, as Siddharth mentioned, let's just watch the first game and how it pans out, and we'll get an idea that what's going to happen in the rest of the 4 matches. So yeah, that's it from my end.
Atul, where is loyalty, man? What is may the best team win? What is that kind of attitude?
Milan is going to win. Okay, that's my loyalty. Fuck off.
Prathamesh, like, just gone. It's
I've
just
got
been
nothing
Yeah.
to
okay.
say now.
Just
Yeah.
my
I think
final
we
comment. Yeah.
should we end it right there? Not make any comments, Anurag? I think that's
Yep.
fair enough.
Yep.
No, I'd really like to take Smriti Mandana's comments because
Yeah.
a little bit of it is tongue in cheek, little bit of it is shows a lot of exasperation amongst the Indian women's team for not having played test matches. I'm absolutely with them. Not sure when the test match is happening, but it has been announced. We are all really excited. When we played there the last test, we've had really good memories of that test match. It's the feeling of putting on whites and going into bat with 3 slips and a gully. We don't get to do that much.
Yeah.
Horrible to have actually hear that from an Indian captain.
Yeah.
That feeling as a batter I crave whenever I watch a men's test match. It'll be exciting to go out there after 6 years and play a test. A mental conditioning coach or a mentor could be of use for a lot of girls. I think the BCCI is looking into it, and hopefully we'll have something going before the World Cup. I don't
Alrighty,
want
Abdul.
you to comment on this. I just wanted to take these comments because felt really bad.
Yeah.
Reading those comments did not feel really great. I mean, so I don't really want to say anything, add anything there. I think the skipper has added everything that she could have, and she's been to the point. To be very honest, it's quite disappointing that it's been six
Yeah.
years. The women's team 7 years, almost 6.5 years since they've played a test match. So yeah, let's hope. If we lose,
Just a final thing to add. Just a final thing to add. I think a lot of people, whatever they're expecting with the pitch, I think it's going to go wrong. We're going to witness a flat deck. We're
flat
going to
track.
witness a lot of We're going to witness a lot of runs tomorrow. That's what I'm expecting.
Yeah, and Anurag, are those your final comments? Is it?
Yep.
Lovely. Because you read now 3 minutes ago. Of course.
Yep.
My 11 just for Ahil because I didn't give it earlier. Ahil because we already know Rahul and Rohit are opening, so those are the two. Virat, I put sorry Shreyas, but I put Surya Kumar Yadav at number 4. Number 5 for me is Hardik Pandya. Number 6 is Rishabh Pant. Who am I missing? Am I missing anyone? No, I'm not. Number 7, number 7. I'm one place ahead in the batting order. Who have I missed out on? Who have I skipped?
You have not missed out on anyone, Kushagar. It's okay.
I've not? Okay. So number 7, I guess you go get Washington in. Number 8, Akshar. Number 9, Bhubi. Number 10, you go with Deepak Chahar. And number 11, Yuzi. I think that's fair enough.
Fair
Fair
enough.
enough.
Yeah.
Not to score a brace, Atul says, but I don't think you can play against the clubs that you're loaned
He
by.
can. He
He
can.
can. He
He's been
can.
allowed.
He can.
He has
What is
been
this
allowed.
ridiculousness?
I
He
don't
is,
know.
he is allowed. He has been allowed.
All right.
Look at Kushagar.
England
keep
का
that
bowling
frustration,
बकवास है,
yeah.
too poor. Rashid को देखना interesting रहेगा. Shashank, you're just underestimating England's bowling. It's great.
Yeah.
It really is
It's
great.
amazing,
Like,
actually.
Kushagar,
Yeah.
Dano is starting.
Dallo
Yeah.
starting at left back.
Oh,
By the way.
yes,
Left back,
all
huh?
right. Bye, boys. It's got
Way to
Bruno
destroy his
time.
career.
All right,
Yep.
Shivam. Don't even miss the first minute. Bruno might score a penalty. Varun adds. Yes, on that note, thank you so much for joining Nathan, Atul, Pratmesh, Anurag, and of course Sid Gulati, who had joined earlier. Do check out V Express Sport, all of their socials, the Sports Doyen, the website, and all of our socials as well. We'll be back covering the match. We'll try to do a pre-match, a quick pre-match if we can earlier tomorrow, and then of course there'll be a post-match session as well. You'll have different panelists, different people joining in. Up until then, do keep it locked to the Sports Doyen. Finally done an under 90-minute Shivam. So there you go. I can do under 90-minute streams as well. And on that note, this is Kushagar. On behalf of all of the panelists, I'm signing off. And we'll see you soon.